that video. You guys have been waiting for this for a long time. Here it is. I'm gonna go through all my stats that I care about anyway. All the units that I care about. I'm gonna break it down into like damage dealers, Soulweavers, bruisers, and openers. Like I don't really draft a lot of tanks, like pure tanks, so we don't care about that anyway. It's gonna be the stats that you see me using a lot, and I'll show you everything. Just jump right into it. Imagine not being able to play Raid because you don't have a PC or mobile device. But you do! Download link is below. You don't have to get mad like her. Over 76 million people have played Raid Generators from all over the world. 195 countries to be exact. People have played Raid for over 12.5 billion hours. That's equivalent to 1.5 million years. With over 35 billion battles fought, 8.5 billion PvP battles waged, and over 375,000 clans made. Yo, those are some crazy numbers. And you gotta ask yourself, how aren't you a part of this enormous community yet? Today, I'm gonna add some numbers to that arena stat. And we're gonna collab some noobs, starting with Koshmar71 over here. This is gonna buff my turn meter right here. Alright, and buff my turn meter. Wait! We're still alive, we're still alive, we're still alive. Okay, we do this. Here's just AoE and see what happens. I can kill 2 targets here. Kill this one on the left. Bop it. Okay. We bop this one here. Nice. Alright, let's kill this one first. Get it out of the way. Wait, there's no way this guy heals enough, right? Yeah, get that weak shit. Wait, just die already. Thank you. This month, Raid has a jam-packed schedule of events to kick off summer. On top of all those events, a bunch of new champions are being released. I mean, look at them. All of them look super cool. Also, a new rotation in the Doom Tower, which has a ton of challenging bosses to take on. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you gotta do is hit the link in the description below or scan my QR code, and you'll get an epic hero, Chanoru, who happens to be amazing in the Doom Tower. You'll also get 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shot, and that means you can summon an awesome champion the moment you get into the game. All of these rewards are waiting for you here, but this offer only lasts 30 days. So download today. Let's start off with Cleavers. RB, top of the list. This is the one I use the most. I always first pick him, even though there's so many counters. I have him on 330 crit damage, 209 speed, 4.4k attack, Alexa's basket maxed out. There are many ways to build RB. Some people go with 250 and above speed, or as much speed as possible. Some people go tanky. I like him at this speed because I always draft an opener with him. He's never a standalone unit. Here you kind of want speed, crit rate, crit damage, attack, on every piece, right? That's how you get a damage dealer. You want these 4 stats on every single piece that you can get. If you can get maximum roll, perfect. If you can't, hey, it's fine, you tried, right? Next we have Tempest Servant, again max Alexa's basket. However, I have her on a lifesteal set because there is a 1v4 potential sometimes. Again, 200 speed. I like this number on all my damage dealers so they can follow up with my opener. 3.8k attack, a little bit low on crit damage, and 50-50 crit rate. I have her on hit set because her debuffs do matter. You don't really need that much effectiveness, honestly. Just with the effectiveness offset, that's good enough for you. Next we have Green Blue Dread. A lot of people overlook him and think he's just a speed imprint. He's not going to do a lot of damage, but he does a lot of damage. I have him on his own artifact. That is the benchmark that I go for damage dealers, right? That are not on lifesteal or any of the set. 4,000 attack, 300 crit damage, 200 speed. The more you can get, the better. Next we have Ludwig. This is my only damage dealer above 200,000.
This feels good.
He's pretty min-max. 0 effectiveness, 0 effect resistance, 350 crit damage, 4.4k attack, 210 speed. The reason why I run Tagger House on him because he needs setup. Most of his setup units are soul hungry. I'm also running the S3 exclusive equipment on him because I think that's his most important move. Try and end the game with just 1 single S3. Next we have Little Queen Charlotte. I actually use her a lot, especially in normal arena. And sometimes if the enemy drops FCC with the T-Sword and I kind of let it through, LQC is perfect for those. I have her on Hellcutter, speed, immunity offset, full attack on the right side. These stats together with Hellcutter just kill every single Tempest out there. Next we have Day 1 Judge Kisei. I have her on a fat build, meaning 0 speed. She really needs immunity offset because she's a 2-turn cleaver, right? She's gonna do a S2 followed by S3. Could be countered by things like Trozad, you could be Elbris, could be stunned up or revoked. So that's why you really need immunity offset on Judge Kisei. The last damage dealer that we're gonna go through today is Specimen Sass. I focus more on speed for Spez. He's at 255. The reason why I went with more speed for him is because I want him to be able to follow up a Solitaire stun or an ML Rin stun. Next we move on to Soulweaver, starting off with DJB, Daijo Boot, Water's Origin Artifact. You just want him there to resist the opener from the enemy, and then you want him to cleanse and push your team forward to take a turn, and you should win based off of that alone. Most openers that focus on speed won't have their effectiveness around 150. So 250 resistance is, I would say, the bare minimum for him. The more you can get, the better. I would go with 230 speed. You could go with more than that. Every other stat doesn't really matter. Next, Soulweaver, Maid Chloe, same thing. Same thing. She resists the debuff, she cleanses the debuff, and you're supposed to win the game off of that. I have her only on 213 effect resistance, but I have Shimadra stuff on her, which gives 20% effect resistance. Her passive also gives 20% effect resistance. I have her on counter, but I think speed's better. So I would recommend the same build, like on DJB, put it on Maid Chloe. The third Soulweaver that I've probably drafted once this entire season is Rual of Light. My Rual kind of sucks, not enough resistance. You kind of want above 100 because a lot of times people min-max their bruisers like FCC, Blue Crow, they will not have effectiveness on them. So if you have like 100 plus resistance, they will never land a debuff. Then you put everything else into HP, defense, and speed. Moving on, we have bruisers. Let's start off with Last Rider Crown. Very straightforward. It's 228 speed, 25k HP, 1.6k defense. I run Bastion of Pollution on it because I like to draft some units without immunity offset but have high attack like RB. So this artifact really benefits those damage dealers. Next, we have his brother, the Blue Crown. I gear him the same way I gear Last Rider Crown, but he's got shittier gear. You can tell, right? Less speed, less defense, right? But I gear him the exact same way. I go Aureus as an artifact for him. In fact, I'm 50-50 on this. I think Aureus is generally the better choice for him, but Holy Sacrifice can be so clutch in a lot of fights. Next we have A-Tywin. You know what? My A-Tywin is Scuff. Speed and hit sap. It's A-Tywin, right? He's gonna cleanse the debuff. Don't go immunity on him. Like, he's not gonna do a lot of damage. He's not really tanky. He's got 276 crit damage, 19k HP. Kinda squishy, only 1000 defense. That's why Holy Sacrifice is super important. Because I like to draft him versus cleavers. He's like an army. He comes back, he AoEs. If he gets a 4-man stun, you win the game. Next we have General Purgus, again speed immunity, again 200 speed, try to go for that, and then HP, defense, crit damage wherever you can get. I also have the Alencia's artifact on him because not enough crit rate. Ideally, I think you want Draco Plate, I think you want the Guild War artifact, the Victory Horn something. The next bruiser we have is Kara. She is meta. Everybody has one. She's free. How you want to build her? Fast, slow, tanky is up to you. Yeah, I chose for fast and tanky. 230 speed, almost 1.4k defense. Artifact wise, I think Tagger House is probably the best. And Elixir Scepter is number 2, if you're feeling lucky. Moving on, let's go back to damage dealers. Because I realized we missed a lot of damage dealers. Elfeld, just gear her like you gear a normal damage dealer, but you don't need crit rate, and that's a big plus. Just go for speed, crit damage, attack, and effectiveness. I have Song to Stars on her. Then we have Politis. A lot of people build her as a bruiser, a tanky, some even go counter. I have her as a nuker. My Politis is only 3k attack, 220 speed, 300 crit damage, not maxed on crit rate. A lot of stats are missing. I choose to go Tagger House on her because there are some times where she needs to soul burn S1 into S3. Like if you're fighting a Tempasurin, you could soul burn S1, knock Tempasurin down to 50% and an S3 and kill the Tempasurin or debuff her. On to more uncommon damage dealers, we have Fire Shuri, 300 crit damage, 3k attack, and some speed. He's not really there to do all of the damage, it's more like a supporting damage dealer. I have him on Infinity Basket for dual attacks, but we all know the main reason someone drafts Fire Shuri is because he wants turn 1, and Fire Shuri gives you 14 speed imprint to the back line. Same thing with Celeste, there for the speed imprint, but Celeste, however, has self-buffing attack, heals herself, AoE without cooldown. That's why you see me dropping Celeste as a damage dealer very often. Operator, Cigarette. There are many ways to build her, but I chose the middle ground. So 245 speed, 300 crit damage, well, 3.7, 3.8k attack with a Misha artifact. I want to say this is the last damage dealer that we'll be focusing on today. He's on lifesteal and penetration with 16k HP and almost 300 crit damage. He does so much damage. That 20% penetration. A lot of damage. Finally, we've come to the point where you guys have been waiting for. My openers. We start off with Crescent Moon Rin. She only has 300 speed. Most Rins out there today, 310 and above. Because when they drop ML Rin, they want to ensure they take turn 1. It's very easy to get 300 speed on ML Rin. So you can see that a lot of her gears are not even 20 speed, yet she can't hit 300 speed. You should abuse this to help you challenge turn 1 against YOLO cleavers. The next unit, Assassin Coley, again, very high base speed. Mine is not even 300 speed, it's 299, 86% crit rate, 50-50, but I always use her S3 with confidence. You S3 with confidence, it's gonna crit. If it doesn't crit, just blame luck. Again, you can see that she has a ton of gear that's under 20 speed, and yet she's almost able to hit 300 speed because of high base speed, yeah? So all of you, again, one more time, if you don't have great rolls, abuse units with high base speed to try and challenge for turn 1 when you need to. Next, we have Flitica. I like Flitica because she pushes the entire team forwards and skill nullifier, which is in a way sort of like a RB counter, right? You save yourself from a nuke. She can also reset. A lot of my openers, you'll be surprised, aren't that fast. I will always drop them and run them with like a speed imprint to make sure that they can get turn 1. My Flitica has only a 294 speed, that's why I always run with a speed imprint. I have Wall of Order on Flitica, not because of greater attack, but it's cool when it happens, but because she gains an extra 10% combat readiness when she uses her S2. This means, even though there is an Elena on the opposite team, there is a chance that I can latch an Elena and reset her before she gets her S3 up. Last but not least, the moment you have been waiting for. I'm just messing around. I promise you guys that I show you all the stats. This is my stage file. 295 speed, I always say 300, but hey, Asians like to round up, okay? 18.2k HP, 1.2k defense, max Abyssal Crown. I think for all openers, especially Sage Ball and Flitica, you want immunity offset unless you are 310 speed. This way, enemy drops Cerise, right? He can't stun you. If he drops ML Rin, he's gotta go through resistance checks. So you have a better chance to win. With that, we're gonna wrap up this stats video. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, if this video was helpful to you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!